Picture this. The journey ahead starts here together, and together we can build a brighter future. You are listening to Illuminating Hope, a podcast of Hope House. Welcome to Illuminating Hope. I'm your host, Tina Johnson. I want to talk about something that directly impacts safety in our community, because this isn't just about funding. It's about whether someone answers the phone when a survivor calls for help. It's about whether a child has access to a forensic interview after abuse. It's about whether someone fleeing violence has a safe place to sleep that night. One of the primary funding sources for victim services is the Federal Victim of Crime Act, or VOCA. These federal dollars are distributed to states and then granted to local agencies serving survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, and other violent crimes. Since 2018, flat VOCA funding, combined with rising cost, has resulted in an estimated $5.5 million loss in real support for Jackson County alone. Not because the need went down, but because the cost of saving lives has gone up and the need is growing. In 2024, right here in the Kansas City region, over 9,600 survivors received services. Advocates made nearly 162,000 contacts with survivors. More than 66,000 hours of support services were provided, like court advocacy, case management, crisis intervention, therapy, and hospital response. When it comes to safety and housing, agencies provided over 30,000 nights of shelter for adults and nearly 37,000 nights of shelter for children. And it still wasn't enough. Requests for shelter went unmet more than 14,000 times for adults and 9,500 times for children. That means thousands of people asked for safety and couldn't access it. Hotlines answered nearly 24,000 calls last year. That's about 65 calls every single day from someone in crisis. All of this is made possible in part through VOCA support and state general revenue dollars through agencies like Metropolitan Organization Countering Sexual Assault, Child Protective Services, Rosebrook Center, Synergy Services, Hope House, CASA, New House, just to name a few. Together, these agencies also supported more than 2,000 loved ones and family members and reached nearly 50,000 community members through education. But now Missouri's proposed FY27 budget does not include state general revenue funding to offset federal VOCA reductions, which could mean a 50% cut to victim services. So imagine this: twice as many unanswered hotline calls, twice as many survivors turned away, twice as many children waiting for help. Without adequate VOCA funding and without state dollars to offset federal cuts, we risk losing crisis advocates in hospitals and police departments, emergency shelter and housing assistance, forensic interviews for abused children, mental health counseling, and 24/7 crisis responses. And when these services disappear, the need doesn't. The cost simply shifts to emergency rooms, to foster care, to court systems, to law enforcement, and ultimately to taxpayers. Cuts don't reduce violence. They increase long-term costs and community harm. So here's the call to action. Contact your Missouri legislators. Advocate for restoring $15 million to the state general revenue funding to stabilize victim services. Support your local victim agencies. And share this episode, because this isn't trimming around the edges. This is structural destabilization of the safety net victims rely on. And if we want crime victims to have options, We have to make sure services still exist. Before we go, here's something the community needs to understand. This isn't just about funding. It's about safety. So again, here's the ask. Contact your Missouri legislators. Advocate for state funding to support crime victims. Support local victim service agencies. Because if services disappear, survivors' options do too.